Hello, everybody, and welcome to a short little update here. I hope to be short, rather, of Hurricane Isaias currently going on in the Atlantic here. Coming pretty close to the Bahamas there. This is 1 minute mesoscale imagery off of GO16, so you're getting one image off the GO16 satellite every minute. And that's why the imagery is kind of cropped here on the sides here, is because it's focusing on this one part of the world, this one sector of the world. So it could get that 1 minute imagery of this event going on. Let's go ahead and look at the water vapor imagery of the storm too, and you can see that a lot better, the influence of the storm. Dry air is not going to be an issue at all for the northern part of it, the eastern part of it, and even probably the southern part of the storm. The western side of the storm, however, is going to be going into some of that dry air though, and that's probably a contributing factor as to why the storm is kind of pretty much for the most part maintain its intensity throughout the day here, with the exception of this morning, because I believe this morning the center circulation was exposed for a short amount of time before new bursts of convection started firing around the center like it is right now. So it's for the most part kind of maintained its intensity, and kind of gradually intensified over the past few hours here. So that's a look at water vapor. In terms of the actual forecast cone, let's go ahead and look at the latest on the hurricane here. You can see strong winds and heavy rains continue over the central Bahamas. Hurricane Isaias is expected to approach the southeast coast of Florida tomorrow. As of the 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, July 31st update, the current location as of this update is 23.3 degrees north, 73.4 degrees west, moving to the northwest at 14 miles per hour, and it has a minimum pressure of 987 millibars, and maximum sustained 1 minute winds are at 80 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and look at the forecast cone for this. I know we saw that a little bit earlier on the interactive cone there. This is the 5 day cone off the National Hurricane Center, and they have it just the center line just off the coast of Florida. They're actually just off the coast by about 3 miles or so, give or take, off the center line. So that's pretty remarkable stuff there. So if it goes off the center line there, it's going to be a pretty close approach to Florida there. Regardless, though, you must take into account the storm could wobble more to the east. It could go more to the west here, so it could actually make a landfall, or it could just barely skirt the coastline with its eye wall, or it could be far offshore the coast and they won't get the eye wall. We'll just see what the situation as it currently keeps on evolving. Here's the 3 day cone, and you can see that a lot better there. The center line is just 3 miles off the coast from pretty much the space center over there in Florida, about 3 miles or so. And you saw that earlier with that graphical forecast that I pulled up for a second before I showed this. And let me go ahead and pull that up again, so you can see what I'm talking to you about. What I mean, it's about 3 miles. The center line is about 3 miles away from reaching the coastline, the coast of Florida. There, look at that. Look how close that is. Amazing stuff. So we got that currently going on, and we also have another area of interest. We have Tropical Depression 10, which is forecast to be named Tropical Storm Josephine earlier, but now the National Hurricane Center only forecast the storm to stay as a tropical depression before it starts to weaken pretty soon as it heads into way cooler waters and way less unfavorable conditions here throughout the night into the morning tomorrow. But there's something to note there. The National Hurricane Center will analyze this and see if this perhaps maybe did become a tropical storm at one point or not. If it does, if they do end up saying that this became a tropical storm in post-season analysis, I believe it'll be just called an unnamed tropical depression. Unnamed storm, rather, I should say. I believe is what they'll call it, unless they decide to name it later tonight or tomorrow morning, which I don't find too likely, given the fact how, like I said earlier, it's getting into way less favorable conditions there. And if this storm does manage to get named before its eventual demise pretty soon here, probably within the next 12, 24 hours or less here, it'll be given the name Josephine. And if it does get named, it'll be the earliest J named storm in the Atlantic Basin, since they started naming these storms in I believe it was the mid or late 1950s. It'll be the earliest J named storm since Hurricane Jose in 2005, or Storm Jose in 2005, when that formed on the 22nd of August 2005. So it would beat out that record by about 22 or 23 days, if that happens with this storm. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what the post analysis brings for that. Here's the Bahamas radar from the Bahamas here. This is a composing of two radar sites. One is in Nassau, Bahamas, on the top of your screen where my cursor is right there, and one is in Long Island, Bahamas. Not New York, Long Island, Bahamas. In the Bahamas, they're right about where my cursor is right there. So two radars, making a composite radar, and you can see how the storm has been doing over the past 2 hours here. This is a 2 hour loop here. And you can see it's not really doing as good as it did earlier. Earlier it had a fully closed eye, but now it's not really so closed anymore. So that's some good news to see. Hopefully it stays that way, but we'll see what comes up tomorrow. See how it fares tomorrow. Because the storm still has time to intensify over open waters, especially after it gets past the Bahamas. Here, it has some room to intensify, unfortunately. So we'll see if it takes advantage of those conditions or if it does not take advantage of those conditions. We'll see after that. Here's Cuba Radar there, courtesy. This is a loop made by Brian McNulty. There's the radar loop there off Cuba, and you can see what the radar has been seeing there. Here's Ensemble Models. As of 18 UTC, July 30th here. It's 31st. It's actually the 31st. Let me see if I can update this here. Oh, I can't update it apparently. Let's go ahead and update this here. Oops, wrong graphic. Let's go ahead and update this here. This is the most recent one. And the most of the models have it come really close, if not making a landfall over Florida here. Don't pay attention to these outliers right here at this point in time. Don't pay attention to those outliers. For the majority of the models have it coming really close to Florida or making even a landfall over Florida here. Perhaps it's a hurricane in the next 48 to 36 hours there. So we'll see what holds with that. Recon has been in the storm the past 3 hours here, and they've been tirelessly getting more and more data on the storm with each passing hour as they get more and more data from the hurricane hunters here, and you can see just what they've been doing here over the past 3 hours right there. So I believe in its latest pass from the AF mission, the AF 305 mission, I believe they found one single non-suspect SFMR of about 70 knots, which is I believe like I think it's 81 or 80 miles per hour, something to that effect. And then before that, they had a SFMR of 72 knots that was also not flagged. So I think that is equivalent to like 82 or 83 miles per hour. So right on the border between 80 and 85 miles per hour there. And NHC obviously have the storm at 80 miles per hour right now, which is good on them. Rather be conservative with the storm than overestimate a storm and say it's a lot stronger than it actually is, going off recon data. They know what they're doing. Here's infrared imagery off of GO 16 of Tropical Depression 10 here, and you can see it looked really good, surprisingly good earlier today. And as soon as the sun set, bam, those cloud tops just poof, they get out of there. So that's Tropical Depression 10 there off of GO 16. Looked pretty good earlier today, and then once that's the sunset, the convection just went away. I will say, not to try to put my own opinion out there, because I don't want to be personally biased on this update, but by the day before this, yesterday morning, what is now Tropical Depression 10, before that when it was back Invest 93L back then, looked pretty good on satellite data and also on ASCAT data. So we'll see in TCR in the post-cyclone report if the National Hurricane Center extends the life that Tropical Depression 10 lived, or if they'll keep it the same as it is right now. Just something to note right there. Again, there's radar there. And then I'll finish this update with, if you want official information off of official government agencies, the number two of the best sites to go off of and probably the two only sites you should go off of, besides your local officials, would be to go off the National Weather Service and the National Hurricane Center. This is the National Weather Service page. This is the front page of the National Weather Service. You'll know that you're on the right page when you see this page up in front of you. Just type up weather.gov, or just type nws.gov, or type NWS, and it'll probably be the first result on whatever search browser or search engine you're using. And like I said, you'll know you're on the right site when you see this information right here. You know that. And then if we want to get local information on what's currently going on in your neck of the woods, you could go over and click there. Click that forecast office if it's gonna load here. It's gonna take a little while here, but while oh, actually no, it loaded now. This is the forecast office in Miami, Florida. You can see what they have currently going on, information here. And say you don't live in Miami, you live in Homestead. Click on Homestead right there. Take you straight to your local forecast there. It'll have your 5-day graphical forecast there and graphics. And then below that, it'll have in text the 7-day forecast, extended forecast there. And even also have an hourly forecast too, to plan your day out in advance too, if you have any plans. Trying to do your preparations before this hurricane hits Florida, perhaps there. And also, if you don't live in Homestead, but you just clicked on that because that's the nearest city near you, you could click here and type up your zip code information, or type up the city that you live in or live closest to, for more accurate forecast for your area there as well. Then lastly, with the National Hurricane Center here, let's go to the front page here. Just type up nhc.noaa.gov, or just type nhc.gov, or type NHC, and it'll probably be, like I said, the National Weather Service, probably the first result on whatever web page or web browser you're using for this. So that's how you get the latest information. Actually, I almost forgot. There's another area of interest also to watch too. Near 0% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours, but through the next 5 days has a low 30% chance of formation there. So there's something to watch here, to keep an eye on. So keep an eye on that. Let's see if the Eastern Pacific. Nope, nothing's in the Eastern Pacific yet. So other than that, that's pretty much about it. Hope everybody stays safe. Listen to your local officials. If they tell you to evacuate, you evacuate. They'll have shelters ready for you on hand. I don't know the exact specifics on shelters, but I know they should be probably talking to you about them at this point in time for this hurricane. So keep an eye on your local officials. Get your information from official sources like the National Hurricane Center and National Weather Service too, for official information, because I know there's going to be, unfortunately, like this is the case with storms like even Hurricane Hannah earlier this month. There is going to be some false information going around, spewing nonsense about this storm. So keep yourself informed. Look over for the officials for the official information. I am not a certified meteorologist by any means. I'm just giving you the information how it is and how it's said. So make what you want to make out of that. Again, hope everybody has a great day and night. You guys are stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Peace.